Hi, my name is Susan Spellman-Can. I'm a counselor in Calgary in a self-directed high school, and I'm very happy to be part of this Open Spokes movement for a lot of reasons, mostly for personal and professional growth, so that I learn along with fellow colleagues and I get to share my little corner of the world. Thought I wanted to be a phys ed teacher or a teacher of some kind. In high school, I had volunteered and worked with a few students with special needs. And so I thought that maybe I wanted to be a teacher. So my guidance counselor at the time talked to me about a program called a Bachelor of Child Study, which was starting new at Mount St. Vincent University in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It was the only one in Canada at the time. And so I decided that yes, I would apply. And luckily, I got in. It was a great program. It was a 4-year program, and in the 4 years, you got to do a lot of things. So I got to work in the Children's Hospital. I got to work in a daycare. I got to work with students with special needs. And in my 4th year, I specialized, and I specialized in education. And that's where it all began. I knew that I had found what I really wanted to do. At that time, I really did want to become a psychologist. I had worked in a receiving and assessment center, but I really didn't know how to get there at that time. That would come later. So on I went, and I took my Bachelor of Child Study, and in my 4th year, when I specialized in education, I was really happy. Loved being in the classroom, and it was a lot of fun. And so I knew that this was something that I was going to enjoy. The next part was how to get a job. And so at the time in Nova Scotia, there weren't a lot of teaching jobs. So I went and applied for a social work job in a small community about 3 hours away from my home and didn't get the job. At that time, my girlfriend was prepared to go anywhere in the world to teach. And I said I was going to go about a half hour out of Halifax. And that was as far as I was going to go. But things would change. And I went for an interview for a job in northern Alberta, a place called Atikamekw, and got the job. And my life was about to begin, and it was about to change. My girlfriend stayed in Nova Scotia, and I went thousands of miles away from home. Packed my boxes, 5 of them, with $500, and off I went to Alberta. 3,814 miles away. Off I went. Didn't know a soul, not a soul in northern Alberta. Was about to go and teach on a reserve, and it was the best experience that I could have ever had. Arrived in Edmonton, again, didn't know anybody. Caught a bus to High Prairie, and away I went on my first learning experience, both as a new teacher, teaching grade 6, even though I was early childhood trained, which is typical of a lot of teachers. They don't teach what they were trained to do. So off I went and had my 3-day orientation and drove in 40 miles into the bush to have a fantastic experience. There's a lot of stories there, and maybe sometime I'll share some of those. That was the beginning of my first teaching experience. Later, I would go on to teach elementary, junior high, high school. I taught a couple of courses, 3 of them, at 3 different universities. And presently, I'm in my favorite job of all time, and that's school counseling. I also did private practice for a year, and love being in the school. It's a great place to be, with students where I feel school counselors and teachers can make an unbelievable difference. It's been the best time ever. I believe it's the best job in the world. I still love what I do after 33 years. I go to work every morning happy to go to work. Doesn't mean I don't have days where I don't feel like getting up and getting out there, especially in the winter. But I absolutely love what I do to this moment. It energizes me, it makes me happy, and the kids are where I want to be, and it's what I want to do. The reason that I'm here in this Open Spokes is to learn, to grow, to share. Um, I became involved because I was involved in ETMOOC, Educational Technology Massive Open Online Course, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. I got to connect with a lot of great educators, and one of those was Ben, who started this Open Spokes movement. And my colleague Aaron Luong encouraged me to go ahead, do it, try it. And so here I am. I had made my first vlog at the very end of the ETMOOC, and it was a very challenging experience for me. It's hard being in front of the camera. So I am stepping out of the box, big time stepping out, and running into this, jumping into this experience and seeing what happens and just trying to grow and learn. So I welcome this experience, and I hope to get to know a lot of you a lot better.